Welcome back, guys. Welcome to the channel, and we are in today is the fifth day, and we'll jump right in. Fifth day: the suffering of purgatory, the pain of fire. Point 1: a real fire. Point 2: a fire of vengeance. First point: the great apostle St. Paul tells us that there are souls who will not be admitted into the realms of bliss until they have been purified by fire, quasi per inium. But it is not the fire of hell of which he speaks, which will never be extinguished. It can, therefore, be no other than the fire of purgatory. And this is the unanimous belief of all the great doctors of the Church. If we consult St. Ambrose, St. Augustine, and St. Thomas as to what are the sufferings of the souls in purgatory, they will answer with one voice, that it is the pain of fire. And were it permitted to us to bend over the brink of that abyss, to listen to the plaints of those we love, we should hear suffering voices crying to us from the depths of purgatory. In the words of the rich man who was condemned to hell, I am tormented in this flame. Luke 16:24. Crucio in hac flamma. Fire, then, O Christian soul, is the torment. To be entirely immersed in fire, in an active penetrating fire, which reaches to the inmost being. Oh, what an excruciating torment. Material fire acts only on the body, and yet how terrible are its effects. Who is there who would hold a burning coal in his hand for the space of a minute? But the fire of purgatory acts on the soul. It reaches to the intellect, to the memory, to the senses. It pervades and penetrates every faculty. Anima tota punitur. Figure to yourself this torment, which we can scarcely imagine, though we have so often merited it by our daily faults. And let us, in the words of Scripture, ask ourselves this question: which of you can dwell with devouring fire? Isaiah 33:14. O God, preserve us from the fire of purgatory. Deliver the souls who suffer there, and with the heavenly dew of thy love, extinguish the flames which are devouring them. Second point: in order to understand the intensity of the fire of purgatory, we must remember that it was enkindled and is maintained by the breath of God's justice, that it does not act as an element, but as the instrument of divine power, and it touches its victims the more as it acquires the strength from the anger of God, which it could not of itself possess, in order that it may punish souls without causing death and may purify without destroying. The fire of this world is a gift of providence, whereas that of purgatory is a creation of God's justice, of his anger, of his vengeance. St. Thomas says that the most burning furnaces and sharpest fires to which the martyrs were condemned are nothing in comparison to the devouring flames that are suffered in purgatory. This fire, says the Holy Father, is like unto that of hell, except in its duration. Oh, how terrible is the suffering, and how great a martyrdom do not these poor victims endure. Remember, O Christian soul, that the sufferings of this life, whatever they may be, are nothing in comparison to those of purgatory. Who is there so hard-hearted as not to hearken to the pitiable cries of these unfortunate beings who implore our help from the depths of the prison where they burn day and night? Oh, were you in their place, and others had as little charity as you have for the poor souls, by what name would you call such cruelty? Reflect seriously and resolve to act differently in future. Example: a few years ago in a town in France, a fire broke out in the basement floor of a house. It was during the night and several people were sleeping in the upper rooms, but so soundly that they did not wake till the fire gained the floor beneath where they slept. Escape was then impossible. The bystanders were powerless to help and could only watch the frantic efforts of the victims and hear the despairing cries of "Save, oh, save us." Meanwhile, the flames reached the roof, which fell in, burying the unfortunate inmates. Heart-rending as was the scene, there is yet another still more sad and painful, which we little heed. The souls of our friends and relatives are being devoured by fire. And by what fire? By a fire enkindled by the wrath of God. You can save them by your tears and the merits of Jesus Christ. Oh, have pity on them. Save them. Jesus, have mercy on them. Prayer. O God, who greatly do I dread thy justice, when I recall to my remembrance the sensual life I have led, my many sins and the little have I done for thee. Have mercy on me, O God, and have mercy also on the souls of my relatives who have gone before me into the eternity of who are now in the dominion of thy justice. O Jesus, be merciful to them. Deliver thy children and our brethren from the avenging flames, and admit them to the realms of bliss. May they rest in peace. Requiescat in pace. And this is the end of day 5. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.